January is the month where I do more vision work, more career planning and long-term strategy with my clients than at any other point in the year. This is very much career vision season. Over the Christmas break, people have some epiphanies and they realize that they do need some more support when it comes to their careers. This is also when I do my masterclasses on unlocking your career vision. It's when people genuinely have that energy to get clear, and there's nothing like the blank slate of an entire year to play with, to make people feel expansive and strategize. So it's very much career time, and I'm getting to hear a lot of what is very important for people right now. So what does this mean for you? I want to give you 3 strategies for 2026, the ones that are most frequently coming up in my live coaching conversations, particularly taking into account the way a lot of my clients have felt in recent months, especially with uncertainty around AI, etc. So stick with me till the end of this, and we will specifically talk about the uncertainty that AI creates when you're doing your career strategies and what you can do to look after yourself in that process. So let's start with the first strategy, and that is more glimmers. Now, glimmers are basically the opposite of triggers. So we spend a lot of time talking about things that disproportionately upset us, right? And those are our triggers. And what are the in reverse, what are the things that we absolutely love? And what are the things that light us up, make us feel warm inside, and, give us more joy than they might for others? Knowing what our glimmers are in the workplace is absolute gold dust, because it means that we can play to our strengths and really enjoy what we're doing. When we do that, we also exude really positive energy. So let me give you an example of a glimmer for me. I love it when people bring me their workplace challenges. I am excited to work with them, to move them forward and make them feel good. So that is a glimmer for me. That has been the case for a long time. And it's something that I am rewarded for doing now. Another glimmer for me is I love editing. And so I love editing content. I love editing my podcast. People will often ask me to edit posts that they have because it's something that I really enjoy. So the really easy strategy here is to notice one task that lights you up. So systematically start noticing which parts of your current role make you feel energized, make you feel like you're in your zone of genius, make you feel confident, and give you some glimmers. The fun part of this is, you already enjoy it. So it's easy and fun. And then the beauty of this goal is that you start to open yourself up to more opportunities to do this type of work inside your existing job. So it fits with your life. We don't need to overhaul our entire careers just to get more of what lights us up. We just need to discover what it is, position ourselves for it, and be patient with the opportunities that come our way. This is not an overnight thing. When I first realized that it was coaching that really lit me up, it was a long time to get from that point to the point where it became my full-time work. The next strategy is about protecting your strategic time. Now, you will have heard me talk about this in different ways. This podcast used to be called the Golden Hour because those strategic hours were so important. But when I talk about strategic work, I'm talking about the relationship building, the visibility with your sponsors, the strategic thinking, the vision work, also the financial planning that we were talking about last time, and the financial housekeeping. These are all strategic pillars that, when they're in place, enable your goals. This cannot be left to a Friday afternoon when you're tired. This cannot be done in the last 30 minutes of your week. It needs to happen early on in your week and early on in the day. Because whether you're a night owl or not, as the day progresses, our to-do lists accumulate and more things arise and come our way. We need to have some proactive time before we then have to be reactive in our work and our lives. So what's the EFF strategy for this? Find yourself one slot early on in the week. Get yourself a coffee, make a ritual of it, and have that strategic time. The other part that makes this easy is the week before, knowing how you're going to spend that time, because one of the biggest derailers of this time is not knowing how to spend it. I get into a lot of detail in my Vision Unblocked program. That's a 3-day audio program. It has its own custom GPT in it, so that when you sit down and you're not sure how to do your strategic time and build your vision, it's actually got prompts that help you do that. What I don't want, because I know, having worked with many hundreds and now thousands of clients, that one of the things that stops people from doing strategic time is that they think that they need to sit there by themselves in a vacuum Actually, loads of my clients prefer strategic work with others in meetings. And now we have feedback loops that we can create with customized GPTs with the right prompts as well. So if you want a way to structure your strategic vision building time, then I have the perfect program for you, and it is a throwaway £33 available. Link in the show notes. You can start at any time. This is probably one of the best times to start it. The third strategy, and this is especially important, I think, for 2026, and that is vision matters more when the future is uncertain. So AI has really shaken people's sense of what their careers might look like, what will last, what skills will matter. And so I'm seeing that there is a tendency for a lot more short-term thinking because the future feels uncertain. And that is completely valid, because I have worked with now leaders, C-suite and CEOs who are talking to me about the headcount reduction that they are hoping to achieve from AI. So this is not imaginary, right? There will be a fallout and a shakeout, and it's already happening. Now, as much as it's important to stay afloat today, when we lose any ability to do our own visioning, we essentially give up our own intention and direction, and we just get swept up in a wave, and worst case, we get pulled under. I want us to ride these waves. Let me give you some examples from my own perspective. When I first created my 10-year vision in my 20s, there was no video conferencing. There was no podcasting. Coaching did not exist as an industry. I basically invented a vision that I had no idea how it was going to be possible. I wanted to work a very small number of hours per week, but make the same amount that I would have made in a corporate job. I wanted full flexibility and creativity, and I knew I wanted to impact loads of people, but I also wanted to be really present at home in the evenings with my family, and I put these things all together into one vision. Fast forward to today, and we live in a world that enables all of those things. Now, it could have been that all of this stuff happened and I had no particular vision, and I had carried on in the trajectory that I was already looking at, and I might be feeling incredibly insecure if I had put all my eggs into that basket, not followed my heart, and now felt like I was in an area that was very uncertain. If you don't chart your own intentions, then it's very easy to, number one, feel bitter later on, and number two, miss out on opportunities when they do arise, because the beauty of writing your own vision is that when those things come your way, you have a radar out for them because you've already envisioned that stuff's going to be important, and so it naturally finds you. So I knew what kind of work I was being pulled towards. I knew what kind of life I wanted alongside it, and I knew the kind of platform that I wanted to build. And so having the vision enabled me to take the right risks at the right time. And don't get me wrong, there were times when it was not right to take those risks. So just because the future today is looking uncertain, especially in the world of knowledge work, that doesn't mean that you lose the right to dream properly. I would argue that your personal North Star becomes more important now than ever, and enables you to take opportunities as they arise rather than being fearful and missing the important stuff that's going to happen. The final thing that I want to just remind us of is my old favourite headmistress, who, when we were throwing her a party for her retirement, she said, "You guys are all thanking me for the work I've put in, but I've just had a blast the whole way." That always stayed with me, and it's how I want to do my own career, is that yes, I want to achieve certain things and have certain impact, but ultimately I want it to be an enjoyable journey. That's my intention. So when you have strategies and approaches that feel easy, fun, and fit with your lives, you're going to stick with them. You're going to do them over time. They're going to build and compound and support you. So what have we done so far in January? We have oriented towards the year ahead. We have tapped into some of our deeper desires for the year ahead. We've looked at money, its importance, and some ways of starting to tackle that and becoming the kind of people that invest in our future selves. We have now thought strategically about our careers in 2026, and that includes three things. The first one is starting to notice what gives us glimmers. The second one is prioritizing strategic time. And what I've done is I've given you examples of what strategic time can look like and ways that you can plan that time so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. And then the third one is visioning during uncertainty. We are almost done with January. And the final thing that I want to say, first of all, if you've got questions, do let me know, because I may do a Q&A series. I've had a few already. But also the next one is a very natural progression from this, which is what are going to be the routines and habits that set us up for a great 2026. So I hope this has been helpful. Don't forget to check out Vision Unblocked. That will be in the show notes. And I look forward to connecting with you next time. Bye-bye.